Yes, my lord. Paragraph 17.9.1 reads as follows: another picture of firearms that was deleted and recovered by downloads. Yeah. Page 1863 of 5471.
So according to the evidence of Lieutenant Colonel Khoz, this picture was deleted on the phone of accused number 2 and recovered.
Correct, my lord.
Later. Now, if we can come back to the cell phone of accused number 2, it was put to Sergeant Mokhani that his cell phone was confiscated upon his arrest. Could you find any evidence that a cell phone belonging to accused number 2 was confiscated during arrest?
No, I could not find such.
Now, what is the procedure if an item belonging to a suspect is confiscated?
The procedure is the following, my lord. You will seize the item. That's the first part. Insert it. In this instance, we're talking about a cell phone in the forensic bag, which will then be sealed in front of the suspect. The details of the cell phone, my lord, will be entered or written in front of the forensic bag. In other words, the make, the cell phone number, PIN or access code, whatever that the police officer has at his disposal in relation to the seized item. It will then, my lord, be entered in the ACP-13 register, that is the ACPS property register, where it will be booked in as an exhibit. Thereafter, my lord, the process that follows is that it will be then obviously booked out for analysis or whatever purpose the exhibit is seized for, my lord. There will also be an OB entry, occurrence book entry entered, written that this item, the cell phone, was seized. The details of the forensic bag number, ACP-13 number will be written on the occurrence book, as well as the case number, my lord. If, my lord, the cell phone was seized not as an exhibit, if it's not forming part of the case, then it will be entered on the ACP-22, that is the prisoner's property register. Yes. The receipt for this property will be given to the suspect, my lord, because it is property. So as and when it's needed, then it will be released to the suspect, my lord. Now, when I followed this information, my lord, on the day in which the accused 2 was arrested on the 16th of June and detained in Pretoria, my lord, there were no such properties. And in other words, there were no such entries. In the OB, ACP-13, the ACP-22 struggled to find it, but in the OB, which is the occurrence book where all activities are recorded, there was no such entry. But in the ACP-13 as well, it was not booked there as an exhibit, my lord. In any event, my lord, the way, because later we were able to find the cell phone with Sergeant, I think, Warrant Officer Lovo, the DPCI team that works with downloadings. If that phone was seized on the 16th of June, it would have had to be booked on the ACP-13 register. So that is how it was supposed to be processed, and there was no such entry in the ACP-13.
Now, we just wish to refer you to the proceedings of the 15th of April 2024 on page 34 from line 18 during cross-examination by Mr. Ramusepeli. If we can just put that on record.
My lord, the proceedings of 15 April 2024 under Advocate Ramusepeli, it's line 8, it says, now, just to drum up, I'll read it as it is, my lord, as it's written. Now, just to drum up on this point, in support of accused 2's allegation that he will come and tell the court that I was never found in possession of a cell phone during the trial within trial, within the trial, Magistrate Grenier testified here, and amongst one of the things that accused 2 reported to her was that I want to phone my family, I want to phone my kids. If accused 2 was in possession of a cell phone, he could have done that before he even discovered before you even discovered that cell phone.
Okay. Now, in the trial within a trial, you testified about what happened after the accused made a statement before Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu that he appeared at the First Flores Magistrate Court.
Yes, my lord, that he was taken to Phosphorus Magistrate Court on the 19th of June, but the matter was not enrolled. That's what I said, my lord.
And that he was subsequently that traveled to Tlabani.
That is correct, my lord.
That he to search his room and that ammunition was found and he was charged for that.
Yes, but I was not inside when the search was conducted, my lord. I said I was outside. But yes, ammunition was found and then he was processed accordingly in Tlabani, the police station, and he made his first appearance on the 22nd of June, the following Monday, 2020.
And that was later taken to Dr. Shokwe
Yes.
for a dental examination.
That is correct, my lord, yes.
Do you confirm the evidence that you gave during the trial within the trial?
I do confirm
on this
my lord.
particular point. Yes. And just to come back to the issue of the cell phone, the record of the 15th of April 2024, page 52, line 19 to 25 is brought to your attention. If you can just put that on record.
My lord, the proceedings of 15 April 2024, page 52, under Mr. Baloyi, it reads as follows.
Yeah, just before that, if I may interrupt you, sorry. There's also page 25 of the record of the 15th of April 2024 from line 11 up to line 18, where Mr. Ramosepili cross-examines Surgeon Mokhani, and maybe if we can start with that.
Yes, my lord. So the proceedings of the same date of 15 April 2024, page 25, and line 11, Advocate Ramosepili. Now, with respect to the version of accused 2, is that when he was arrested by you and Sergeant Mabena on 16 June in phase 2 Rustenburg, both of you seized a Samsung cell phone J5 and another white phone that belonged to his sister. What do you want to comment? What do you want to comment on that? Yeah, I've seen it, my lord. If I may, then it says intervenes, my lord.
Thank you. It's not necessary to put on record the next page. Now, Brigadier Gininda, reference was made to the statement of Mr. Shope in these proceedings.
Yes.
Which was not properly commissioned. Was it the only statement that Mr. Shope made in these proceedings?
No, it's not, my lord. I think that will be a fourth statement. At recollection in the docket, there are 3 other statements. I was only present when one was taken. And it was not even taken by me, but it was taken by my colleague, but I was present. And at that stage, my lord, I had no knowledge of what the docket contained. But subsequent to me now being appointed as the lead investigating officer, then I realized that there were other statements in the docket. I think there's about 3, and then this particular one was the 4th one, my lord.
Now, this statement that was taken in your presence, when was it taken? When was it taken down?
Yeah, my lord, there is a date. I think it will be before I was appointed as the lead investigating officer in the matter, my lord. 2016, 17, around there. I'll just check the exact date, my lord, while we're proceeding.
Can you perhaps just briefly explain the circumstances under which that statement was taken?
Yes, my lord. Around that period, myself, we were about 9 members of the police. I think we were about 4 officers. It was myself, Colonel Ramohala, Lieutenant Colonel Nzenisa, and the late Captain Mabuti, plus I think 5 or 6 other members. We were about 9 or 10, my lord, in total. We were sent by then the head of detectives, General Gomo, Lieutenant General Gomo, to go to the family of the deceased at the time and indicate to them. It seems, my lord, there was a planned visit that was supposed to be made by the head of detectives, which then the National Commissioner, General Patlane, acting general, who was the NATCOM, to go and update the family with the progress or the status of the case at that time, my lord. But also to assist with whatever assistance we can give, my lord. But what is prudent is that I was not appointed as the lead investigating officer at that time. It was prior to the appointment by General Stoller. My lord, we then arrived at the deceased home, introduce ourselves, and in those interactions, my lord, because I do recall we met the father of the deceased. He was still alive at the time, and the mother, the parents, and the siblings. We communicated the directive we got, my lord, but in that interaction as we were communicating that, it was then brought to our attention that the family does not understand why it is difficult or taking so long for the matter to be resolved, because there seems to be information that was given by Mr. Tumela Mazala to the brother-in-law. This is now Mr. Thorpe, that the deceased in this matter was shot by mistake. That's the essence of it. I'm trying to sum up it.
Yes, that even if it's already been put on record, yes.
All right. So now, as I said, my lord, I had no knowledge. In other words, I was not privy to the docket, so I did not know what was already filed in the docket. But when that was brought to us, for me, it was a crucial information that needed to be followed. So we then asked to be introduced to Mr. Thorpe, which was duly done, and that's how we met him, my lord. My lord, upon meeting him, the statement was taken by my colleague, the late Captain Mabuti. He took the statement from Mr. Thorpe, summarizing what I've said, my lord, in essence. Mabuti, Captain Mabuti. In the presence of all, the whole team, my lord. So it was the team that moved from the deceased home to meet Mr. Thorpe. This was also, my lord, reported to the DIFCOM then at the time to say this is what we've got, and then we asked to follow that up, which was then refuted. There was some resistance at the beginning from Mr. Mazala, I recall, when we tried to interview him, because at that stage, Brigadier Mudise, who is also late, was the IO, so he was not aware who we are. He didn't want to cooperate with us, but basically the essence was to confirm what is being said by Mr. Thorpe, which was refuted, but there was, as I said, there was some mistrust from Mr. Mazala at the time. My lord, that...
Yeah, this is very crucial. What did Mr. Mazala, what was his reaction to these allegations?
He denied it, my lord. He said he never said it. But like I said, he referred us to the IO to say, I don't know who you are. I know Mr. Midise, speak to him. He says he was getting a lot of threats and all manner of things. But it was clear that he was refusing that he ever said that, my lord. My lord, that affidavit was then filed in the docket. It was actually indexed by me at a later stage, of course, because we're in KZN. It was indexed with my handwriting because it's available, because we had to deal with this allegation that there's a missing statement, and I submitted a statement to say the said statement was never misplaced. It was made by Mr. Thorpe, by Captain Mabutu, who also made his statement at the time. He was still alive, to confirm that it is him who made that statement in his own handwriting. It was then subsequently at a later stage attached in the docket. It has been there in the docket even after we're then done with that instruction that we received, my lord, and it is still in the docket as we speak today. When we received the docket, my lord, as I said, that was that time. Then it was Brigadier Mudis, and then subsequent to us following those few things that the DIFCOM wanted us to follow, I know the matter was then assigned to General Shibiri. And then thereafter, General Shibiri, then we came on board. This is now when we were appointed. When I received the docket during the handing over process, that statement was still in the docket, my lord. And as I said, up to today, it's still in the docket. But not only that statement, all other statements that were made by Mr. Thorpe are still in the docket. In fact, if you look at this matter that is before court, my lord, all affidavit disposed from 2014 to date, there's not even a single affidavit that is missing. Now, my lord, later, obviously, when I had now the privilege now to analyze the docket as the lead investigating officer, that's when I realized that there was a similar statement made by Mr. Thorpe right at the beginning to the investigation team. I think the date is around 2015 or so, which didn't yield any results because it was refuted as well by Mr. Tumelo. It's early as 2015, and then I think because of the changing of hands by investigators, whenever the families, this is my assumption, my lord, will go to introduce themselves as a protocol to the family, I think this issue will be raised, and then I think that led, because if you look at his statement, it's basically saying the same thing, but it was dealt with as early as 2015 by the first investigation team with no results, my lord. Fast tracking to work got involved, same thing, it was refuted. When I was now officially appointed as the lead investigating officer, I revisited the same issue with Mr. Mazala. He still refuted it, my lord, when I was now the investigating officer. I can also explain, my lord, to indicate that after we appointed, after I was appointed as the lead investigating officer, and AfriForum came on board as the watching brief for the family, this is one of the aspects that we explain to them, that the assertion or the belief that there is a missing statement, it's not correct. The statement has been in the docket, it is still available, and it was followed up without, because it's a hearsay. The only person who could have confirmed it, it's Mr. Mazala, who then refuted that he ever said it.
Now, Brigadier Gininda, do you know if this statement was disclosed to the defense with the rest of the contents of the docket?
Yes, because we made copies, my lord, copies of the entire docket. When I was asked to assist with the copies, we actually made copies of all statements that were available to us, my lord. But if there's any misunderstanding in that regard, my lord, like I said, it's still available in the docket.
And then finally, Brigadier Gininda, you've amassed all the evidence. What happened thereafter? After
our through investigation, my lord, the docket was then taken to the DPP in North Gauteng in Church Street with a memorandum summarizing all the investigation that has been done, evidence collected. I think that was in the early October of 2020. Then I do know that towards, I think the 23rd or so, my lord, before the 23rd, I think around between 20 and 23rd, an indictment, the decision was taken by DPP that these 5 accused should then be arraigned. Then on the 23rd of October 2020, I then applied for the warrant of arrest for these accused in Boksburg Magistrate Court, which were authorized. They were then
just a minute.
Oh, yes. My lord, if I can just go back, I'll come back to this issue. The date that the statement of Mr. Thorpe was taken by Captain Mabuti. I just found it because I was perusing the docket while we were proceeding. It's 27 October 2016. That is according to Captain Mabuti's statement and the statement of Mr. Thorpe. Thereafter, my lord, on the 26th of October, the warrants were executed. In other words, the processing was then done, 26th of October 2020. Yes, and the warrants were also executed on the 26th as well of October 2021. And then the first appearance then by the 5 accused, my lord, at the lower court was on the 27th of October 2020, my lord.
Thank you. And earlier on in your evidence, you mentioned the first date on which the docket was taken to the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
Yes, it's 29 January 2020, my lord. 2020. But the context, my lord, is that it was the first time it was taken to the DPP in Church Street. Prior to that, the matter was sitting in Johannesburg DPP, so it was there numerous times. But after the directive was taken that it must be dealt with by the North Gauteng DPP, it was then taken on that day, 29 January 2020, for the first time.
And between that date, 29 January 2020 and 23 October 2020, what was happening?
It was a guided, as I said, there was interaction between the procedural guided investigation, if I can just put it that way, my lord. And I said the advocates that were involved, my lord, was Advocate Baloyi, Advocate Leonard, and Advocate Mafata. Those were the state advocates who were assisting in the matter.
If you say it was prosecution guided investigation, can you just explain?
What I mean, my lord, you will collect, when you get a lead, you will share with the prosecution in terms of, you'll share, you communicate and you get guidance, you discuss, you get guidance as to what is it that you have and that you should pursue. So there was an interaction between the police and the NPA right up to the time when the matter was then ready for court.
Is there anything else, Brigadier, that you wish to place on record?
Yes, it's two things, my lord. The first part is with regard to Dr. Mbatana. I've confirmed through my warrant of Samukwena that he actually sent me the electronic copy of his death certificate. So he passed on the 11th of April 2023. Yeah, April 2023. And he passed on at Helen Joseph Hospital, and the reason cited there is natural.
Yes, you don't need to put those details.
The second aspect, my lord, I had an opportunity to peruse the document that I received from the government hospital, and the court was correct. It's Stella Mokorwane Hospital. Stella Mokorwane Hospital.
Just as a matter of interest, I attended the naming because I defended 1982. I defended Tera Mokorwane, Buthelezis, and others, and they were sentenced to death in this court, charged with treason, etc., etc. And thereafter, after the changeover, his uncle was also an ANC operative, was appointed a major general, and then they decided to name that hospital after Terra. And I was there. Tello, it's Tello.
Yes, Tello. Correct.
That's it. Okay, it's just useless history.
Thank you. Anything else you wish
No,
to present?
it's just those two aspects.
And maybe just finally, we wish to draw your attention to the proceedings of the 14th of June 2024, page 22, the cross-examination of Ms. Fillingham by Mr. Ramasipil on page, line 11 on page 22, and up to line 22, if you can just place that on record.
So, my lord, it reads as follows: the proceedings of 14 June 2024, line 11, under Mr. Ramsipili, we admit the communication, my lord, in terms of section 220 of the Criminal Procedure Act, the communication between 0690 16890 and 072619 1698, and we place it on record, my lord, that, my lord, we acknowledge that the number 0726191698 belongs to the ex-girlfriend of accused 2, and we also admit the SMS communication between the two numbers, my lord, as per the exhibit DD5 open bracket D1 close brackets.
There's just this last part that we also request you to place on record. These are the proceedings of the 21st of June 2024, page 11.
Yes, indeed, my lord. So the proceedings for 21 June 2014 from line 10 is from Ms. Vitillingham. To whom it may concern, I hereby confirm that the firm Giaco Mpaleni Attorneys Incorporate, with practice number F18209, is registered as a firm of attorneys on the roll of Gauteng Provincial Office of the Legal Practice Council. The firm details are recorded as follows. Mjiako Mpaleni Attorneys, INC, with the postal address being P.O. Box 32923, Braamfontein, 2017. Physical address number 10B Street, Melvin, Johannesburg, 2092. There's a telephone number, my lord. Should I place the telephone number? Should I place it? All right. So the number, my lord, the cell phone number reads as follows: 079-039-7605.
And just finally, the proceedings of the 21st of June 2024, page 12, line 21 to 25, just there under Dr. Spanner.
So, my lord, the proceedings for the same date, 21 June 2024, line 21, under Dr. Sibanda. Mr. Sibanda, rather, is written here, my lord, but I suppose it's a good doctor. And then now, let us refer to Exhibit DD5, bracket E, the third paragraph, my lord. The please call me. Does the number appearing on Exhibit MM correlates with please call me on Exhibit DDE, subsection 3? And then the response by Ms. Vettelingham is yes, that is correct. The numbers are there. So the numbers, then it says, my lord, in page 13, line 3, under Ms. Vettelingham, it is 079-039-7605. On line 15, my lord, of the same proceedings of the 21 June 2024 under Mr. Sibanda. Thank you. And can you count on Exhibit DDE how many please call me were sent? Ms. Vettelingham, there were 3 please call me.
And just for the record, towards the accused number 2's tenure of record at the time.
Mr. Mjiako, my lord. Advocate Mjiako now, my lord.
Thank you, my lord. That is all.